All right, should be working now. Did we do it? I think we're just live.
Are we live? I don't
Huzzah!
know.
Are
I
we
don't know.
live? Who even knows?
Who
Who
knows?
could even
Hello?
tell?
Are we
Hello?
live? Let
I
me
don't-
check. Let me
I don't-
check.
No.
Success? What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, it says that we're live. So hoorah!
I
I don't know.
have
Some person just sent me a StreamYard link, and I was like, "What's this?" I don't know.
just show up
what's-
places. Just
Some
click.
random goblin just showed up at my doorstep and told me to get in.
Right?
Hell yeah. It do be
Uh,
like that.
Something's wrong with your hat, Dapper. I don't know what's going on.
What's wrong with my hat?
It's I can see something else. Like it's changing colors and everything.
It's because it's black, so it's going through the it's the background.
Oh,
no.
That's what's happening to Egghead's shirt. My Unfinished Journey said that he shared this 3 times and liked it
Can
5
anyone
times.
not see
Team
my
Journey
shirt?
associates viral marketing for the win.
Oh my
Thank
lord!
you so much.
It's like, can anyone see my shirt? I don't know.
I'm looking at the stream. I can see some of your shirt,
Oh
but
God, the light of the sun.
I mean, it's just a black shirt with just random cupcakes and tea, like Alice in Wonderland on it.
I'm gonna
Chess, your
make-
chroma key isn't just set to black, is it?
It is kind of. It's set to
should-
like that off gray.
You should lower the similarity. That might help.
That might do something. Probably.
Like when
like,
I chroma
sometimes
key out,
Egghead is fading into the background like a ghost, and other times he's not. So
Oh, I made it just.
Well,
on time.
I might be a ghost because you never know. I'm here one time, and then I'm gone out the other way. I mean, Christ, I'm already freaking packing up my goddamn room for moving.
yeah, when I chroma key out the StreamYard background, I just use the minimum similarity and the exact color of the background because it usually means nothing else ever gets keyed out.
Yeah, I just got the Luma key on right now, and it's kind of wacky. So
There's your mistake using the Luma key for this. Come on, what are you doing?
I
There
mean,
you go.
I don't
Is
know,
that better?
does it help? Does it help because that my blanket could also count as a green screen?
Well, only if she sets the green.
I have to chroma key your blanket. You're just gonna wear it underneath, like you're
I
getting
don't
your
know. I
hair
don't
done?
know. I don't know. I mean, there's like the only thing that's green on my shirt is just this big splot of green that has various like Alice in Wonderland shit on it.
That's also appropriate for this place that you found yourself.
With
Okay,
with the perfect title says, "Do you feel it coursing through your veins?"
yeah, Puck is
Red
staring
Velvet
at the window.
2024.
He was yelling at. I think he was yelling at either the cat that's like the local cat, who's a chonky ass cat, by the way.
Yeah,
That
chonky
cat is
boy.
like this big. It's just a regular black cat. He's just fucking huge.
Whew.
Does everybody want to introduce themselves? By the way,
I'm a guy.
You're also a necromancer as well.
me too.
Yes, I am.
Just a little guy.
I'm
But
Japanese
you
dinosaur. I got a
won't,
channel.
but you won't
Yeah.
summon me back from the dead. No one wants
We
that.
got Stonebutts here, Egghead's here, Sar
Hello.
the of the dead necromancers here, and Dapper's here. I didn't link anybody's stuff because I didn't know who was going to be here today. So find them; their names are on screen. I'm Chesh. Hi.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about whatever the fuck because it's rum and coconut night. I brought Keats.
Oh my! I
Nice.
didn't bring anything.
Mm.
I
I
didn't
just
bring
finished-
anything because I don't drink often. Well, I mean,
Oh, that's okay. You're not required to drink. This is a real life kind of rum and coke night. It means that you don't have to get rum and coke. You can order milk at the bar. Nobody's going to
Right.
get mad.
I got canned pib.
Oh.
Canned peeb.
Pib.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say piss, and I'm like, oh, are you watching?
Well,
What was
if,
the
It
guy's
better not be.
name?
It better be clear then.
if I wanted some piss, I would just crack me open a nice cold bottle of Bud Light.
Ew.
Yeah. What was that one guy that I watched last week? The William
cum
something
page.
or other?
The
Yeah, the
page
cum
guy.
page. That was
Oh
so-
God, I watched that. I watched that at work last night, and I was losing my fucking mind. Like even when I'm like furiously jacking off, I'm thinking about my cock less than this guy does while filing his taxes.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, this guy, Egghead, you must know about this guy. He was like a Canadian Idol singer who was like, I guess he used to dunk on flat earthers,
I have
and he
never heard
does
of that.
like sexual kung fu now.
Oh my
He lives in
god.
Vancouver, Canada, and is just like He drinks piss and like talks about how you shouldn't like jack off.
Oh my goodness.
He likes
They
to slap his
You know,
balls around.
in the
I,
video
I
that we
know
watched.
piss drinkers, but they do it at a kink, and not like some weird health benefit shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They had this weird like masturbation ritual, and they had like pages with their problems written on it, and then they would come onto the page, and he had the pages on a shelf in his room.
Oh my god.
I love how that guy was also like talking about we touch cogs, you know, and then I was sexually abused as a minor. No, no,
He
Yeah.
just goes on to like this thing that he's just like, oh, this spiritual blah 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 blah. Oh, and also I did a lot of cocaine. It's like, well, that might be the reason why you feel the way you do about the thing you're talking about. It's very bizarre. It was so strange. But we're gonna talk about Helldivers as our
The Helldivers 2.
The
yes.
Helldivers 2 situation.
situation.
I am completely ignorant on the
Word.
subject. So
Oh.
Yeah, all I heard was like how there was like a lot of fan backlash from it, and how
A
Sony
lot.
recently had to like reverse their decision on everything.
Very recently, like today or yesterday.
Last night
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
tell me, did Helldivers go woke? Please tell me that they
No.
did go woke.
No.
I mean, I imagine Helldivers. I feel like the Helldivers are the same kind of situation where if you take off the helmet and one of them was a girl, like a bunch of people might freak out and say that they are
Mhm.
woke.
Right.
But there's nothing indicating that Helldivers are only men.
You can
So
choose.
this was
you
a
could
girl the whole time?
You were what?
What year is it?
You can choose they them on the character selection screen.
How
dare
dare
they.
you?
Oh my god, I hate this. This is so woke. It finally
Fucking
is so woke.
chaos.
Fucking brownouts.
No,
Is that your
no.
quartering?
Or that one guy who yelled
Oh,
at
that-
the pronouns.
Heels
Yeah,
versus
yeah, yeah.
babyface.
That guy.
Damn.
The guy who's only known for that and nothing else. Like,
Yeah, can you believe that the only cultural impact that Starfield had was that one clip? Ain't
Yep.
that
yeah,
sad?
Yeah.
yeah.
Bethesda,
There's a-
man, just fall off.
So the TLDR, for anybody who doesn't know about Helldivers, Helldivers is a game that does like a really big satirical play in its storyline about
Mhm.
like fascism and managed democracy and imperialism, and a lot of people didn't get it, including Sargon of Akkad, by the way.
Oh Lord.
Of course.
Yes, so Sargon went on and said, "This is what democracy is supposed to look like. This is idealized democracy." And no,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Nazis are like media literate as hell.
yeah, he just thought that this was a representation of ideal democracy, not like satirical at all.
Have
Yeah.
y'all ever seen Sargon's Stormtrooper video?
no.
No.
I have not.
He made one, and you guys are gonna hate it.
Oh boy.
Look,
Go
anyone who
on.
looks
But basically, he said like the bugs deserved it. You know the Federation, whoever, are based in red pilled. You know,
Jeez.
everything you'd expect a Nazi to say.
Oh, gotcha.
So he just likes to ignore that whole bit where they reveal in a news clip that it was actually the humans who invaded one of their planets first in the form of a Mormon settlement. Explicitly
Right.
Mormons for some reason. I don't know why. But
something.
I-
Ender's Game.
At some point, I think he actually started like debate bro in the fucking movie
Jeez.
to say, actually, the order of events is actually this.
Look, if you think that the humans in Helldivers or in Starship Troopers with the good guys, it's because you're telling on yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
You're just telling that everyone that no, I'm in fact at the very least a fascist sympathizer. You might not be an actual out and out fascist, but you're at least someone who is sympathetic to their ideals and their goals and their method of government.
I mean, that ain't wrong. Well, and then at what point is that line, right? I asked this in a video recently where I said, okay, at what point is you're apologizing and sympathizing for Nazis and enabling them and saying, well, they're just allowed to have their political opinion, mean that you're actually just a Nazi?
Right.
Well, it's the difference between being something and feeling sympathetic for it, right? If you actually say these are my politics, then you're an out and out
Right.
actual Nazi.
But
If you're just like,
if
they have
you're-
a few good points, then there's not much of a difference. But technically, you're at that point sympathizing.
yeah, I guess if like I don't know. I feel like there's like a little bit of a gray space in there where if you're signal boosting and dog whistling the rhetoric and the propaganda that I start like whether or not you out and out say that you
Well,
agree,
yeah,
I feel like
sure.
at that point you're engaging enough in a positive way to enable that you have to agree to it or agree with it in some capacity.
Well, I go with if it's hard to find a policy that, say, Nazis would promote that you're not promoting,
That's a good
then
way to
yeah,
tell.
there
Yeah,
you go.
that's
If
fair.
there are actual distinctives, then I mean those do matter. They might not matter in terms of making you not a horrible shit person, but they are significant in terms of describing you.
A good
That's fair.
rule of thumb is if a Nazi agrees with you, check yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. So Helldivers. The TLDR was this had gone on with Helldivers. Some people didn't get it. It was very, very funny and very, very silly people who didn't understand the difference between anything or what satire was and yada, yada, yada. So meanwhile, that game exploded. It did very, very well. Very, very fun. Has a great, like, can exist for like longevity. It could exist for a very long time and like had regular updates about what was going on and a lot of like
I've seen clips of Helldivers 2 all over TikTok. Just
Yeah.
the popularity of that game it feels like it just blew up overnight, to be honest.
Well, I think the thing is, it's like it did the live services game, but it did it the way that people actually want a live services game. Because there's a lot of cool stuff about live services, right? Like the evolving world, the heavy involvement from devs in updating like events and creating seasonal events that you can go do. But the thing that people don't like are things like the predatory microtransactions and the loot boxes and the, if you actually want to be not kicked out of a game at the highest levels, you better have spent several $100,000 or some shit.
Right.
Whereas in this one, it's just like, no, I mean, most of the stuff that you can pay for that's even items, they're not numerically just better. They're different, right? So even when you buy a gun, you're not necessarily buying a better gun. You're just buying a gun that functions differently. And even then, none of the microtransactions are terribly expensive. They're not trying to sell like, $40 season passes, and then once the season is over, it's all done. You can actually just do any of their seasonal events with in-game currency if you want to, and a reasonable amount of playtime, because that's another thing is people are like, well, you can do it with in-game currency. Yeah, if you spend 5 years playing nonstop as a full-time job, then maybe that's true. But that's not what they're doing. So basically, they're taking the good parts of a live service game, and they're not adding in the bad parts. And also, fun killing robots and bugs as knockoffs Starship Troopers.
Ooh.
So the game did really well. People really liked it. And then Sony descended upon us because Sony was the distributor of the game. And it wasn't exclusively sold on Sony or anything like that. But as the distributors, they made an executive decision that apparently was made aware to by the Helldivers team, like the CEO, 6 months before game launch. And so if you know anything about game development, that's like me telling you tomorrow that you need to give a speech.
Yeah.
In front of a gymnasium of a bunch of very, very judgmental teenagers.
Are there other kinds of teenagers?
No.
Okay.
So that was so what they had done was it was giving them launch problems, so they had disabled it because it wasn't something that was supposed to be like.
Well, let's say what it is, which is
PSN. You had to have PSN to play on multiplayer.
PlayStation Network.
PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
So you have to play. You have to pay for PlayStation Network, and you get access to some kinds of exclusive stuff. Sometimes you get free games.
Well, okay, hold on.
Et cetera.
Technically, you only need your free account in order to connect to the servers. So
Right.
on launch, it was a requirement that you have a PlayStation Network account linked to your account that you're playing Helldivers 2 on, which for most PC players would be Steam.
Mhm.
But that was eliminated almost immediately because, like you were saying, Chesh, there were just so many server issues and connection issues, and trying to funnel it through both Steam and that, it just wasn't working with the scalability problems they were having. Because remember, they were expecting to get a few thousand concurrent players. What they got was a few 100,000 concurrent
Yes.
players. It was orders of magnitude more than expected.
Yeah.
So they turned it off. And the big problem is that while Sony had never said this is going away as a requirement, I mean, it's still to this day listed as a requirement on the Steam page, even though they're not currently enforcing
Yeah,
it.
it's also kind of buried. It's not very
Yeah.
clear.
But that's the thing, is it wasn't, it's sort of like that fine print at the end of a EULA. You know, the
Mhm.
kind of thing that courts routinely say, you can't enforce this because no one read it and no one actually agreed to it.
Yeah.
It's that kind of a thing.
And Sony made the game and distributed the game in places where PSN was not available.
There's a big problem there. Yeah, they were selling it. You could buy it. In fact, there was one fairly major Helldivers 2 content creator who was in the Philippines where you can't get PlayStation Network legally.
Yeah.
Who was like, well, I guess that's just my entire channel just done.
And when they
No, I
tried to
can't.
get around to get PSN with a VPN, it's against
Yeah, it's against terms of
Yeah.
service.
service.
If
And
if they
Sony-
find out, they'll ban you.
And the best joke about this is Sony did this dipshit thing, which is fantastic, where they tried to convince people that the reason they needed to implement PSN on all of this now, well after the fact, was for security purposes.
Oh my
And
god.
anybody
Yeah.
who right, anybody who knows what like the history or the track record of Sony and your credit card information safety is not
Oh.
good,
Especially
Basically-
with what happened last year. God
right? It's not
almighty.
even that long ago.
Basically, PlayStation Network has a major data breach about every other year.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding.
Yep.
It's been
Yep.
that way for a bit over a decade.
It's so
It's-
bad.
I only
What,
remember
since the
when
PlayStation
North Korea
3?
hacked them.
Yep.
It's so
Yep.
bad. Yeah, yeah.
Their
the-
last
the-
major data breach was last year, where
Mhm.
something like 7 million people's data was just leaked out.
And they
And, like-
didn't tell people right away either. So
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead again.
How I
Oh
found
my
out
God.
how I found out about the whole data leak from PlayStation was literally on TikTok.
Nice. Wonderful.
It was like people are saying, "Oh, heads up, Sony just everyone just be aware that PlayStation has been hacked." And I was like, "Where the fuck was this coming from Sony? I didn't hear shit from them."
Yeah, they didn't say anything for a while until they were
Yeah.
forced to.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have a bad track record, and everybody laughed as soon as they said that. But Helldivers, both the developers and the players, all they said that this was going to be implemented. It was starting
Mhm.
March 30th for anybody who had already had the game, but it was
Yeah.
starting the 6th, I
Today.
believe.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Today.
It was
Put it
supposed to
in the
start
day.
today for if you were buying it new.
Mhm.
And they reversed that because they got bombed. They got review
Yes.
bombed. People who had left positive reviews changed their reviews to negative. Steam was offering refunds for the game even after the 2-week period.
I
And
think that's amazing.
Helldivers, the devs, tweeted out saying, "Hey, refund the game."
Yeah, they said leave. Basically, they encourage people to leave their honest reviews. If this was a deal breaker, leave a negative review and refund the game if they could, because it was the only way to get Sony to listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to be fair to the CEO, he's not blameless in this because he is the one
He
who
is
turned
not,
off
correct.
the requirement in the first place, meaning that probably millions of people bought this game without really realizing that this was going to be a requirement at some point, or it was supposed to have always been a requirement.
Mhm.
But then again, he did recognize the fact that it's not him who was selling this game in the Philippines or in Ukraine
Yeah.
or in Russia, all places where you could buy this game, but you couldn't legally get a PlayStation Network. Actually, to be fair, you can get a PlayStation Network account in Ukraine, but only if you own a physical console. Which means if you bought this
Yeah.
game on Steam for like the equivalent of $40, whatever that is in Ukrainian money, you then had to go out and buy a multi-$100 console in order to keep playing according to their original plan. A
And
console that you weren't
PlayStation-
planning to use, apparently.
and PlayStation 5s also were even when they released and even now were not that easy to get.
No. Despite
So
basically just being slightly crappy PCs.
right.
Like there's
So-
just a bunch of PC components running their own operating system. It's like what is the point of this?
So a
I'll-
shitload of people changed their reviews. I think the lowest that was reported to be by Rez that the review score got to was 16%,
Yeah.
and it started at a 92.
Oh
And
my
over the
god.
course of a week, they just the Helldivers, all the players,
Not even a
tanked the
week,
game.
4 days.
4 days.
4 days.
Like
and
a
I
quarter
remember-
million reviews on Steam.
I remember
negative.
I remember seeing like posts saying that Steam actually took the game entirely out of like the countries that didn't have PSN accounts.
Yeah, I don't think it's currently clear exactly whether or not it was Steam or whether it was Sony who did that. So I don't think
Yeah,
either
I
one
don't
has made a statement, but there was an update to the game, I think a couple days ago, that basically said it's no longer available for purchase, and then they just listed all the countries that aren't.
They don't
I'm
have
not-
a PSN accounts.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. You guys tell me what you think of this, because in my opinion, I kind of wanted to see Sony try and go through with it so they could get the shit suit out of them.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean-
that's a good universe.
This also
well,
has
less
not
bad
been
universe.
confirmed, but there had been rumors that there were regulators in the EU who were like, "Hey, what you doing, Sony?"
Well, the regulators right now are already looking at the game industry because of Cursed Farms. And what Cursed Farms is doing is running around trying to implement legal changes to like gaming either being a product that you're selling or a service that you're subscribing to. Because right now they're
Right.
selling you a game, but what they're actually giving you is a service, not the game. And so they can take
Yeah.
the service away, and then whatever you invested into the game is gone, and they just keep your money and tell you to fuck off without any clear like timeline, without clear business practices, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there are already currently lawsuits that you can join in if you're interested. Go to a Cursed Farms YouTube channel. He explains the whole fucking thing. But with that also going on and Sony tripping up like this on top of that, I think that would have like just pushed that into a whole new realm of go fuck yourself, which I think would have been great.
Yeah, the thing that always confuses me is it seems like it's been a theme the last few years of major publishers getting huge W's on some random game that they were not expecting to blow up, and then trying their damnedest to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory that they just stumbled upon. For
Right?
some reason.
You
It's like,
could have
you-
done nothing and you just
Yeah.
want a bigger piece of pie, you
Let
greedy
that golden
bitch.
goose keep laying those eggs and keep taking them home. Stop
Stop.
trying to strangle the goose. What are you doing?
Stop! They would have literally killed. It would have straight up killed Helldivers.
It's like you just made one subsidiary that you have, or like one company that's developing a game under your publishing house, just randomly made a money printer, and
Yeah.
you're like, what if we fuck with it? What?
But what if I stick my dick in the pudding?
Oh my
Stop!
god.
It's good. It's good pudding. Don't put your dick in it.
What pudding are we talking about here?
Spotted dick.
Oh Christ.
Thank you for coming, Egghead. It's been a while since you've been here.
I should have known I would have walked right into that.
It's just a grain pudding with raisins and currants. It's fine.
So that's what's been going on with Helldivers.
Yeah.
I'm not used to foreign food.
So, by the way, in case anyone's wondering, the recent reviews are now all the way back up to 58% positive.
Oh.
And just today, I'm actually on the Steam page right now. Now, this information is going to be like, I don't know, 10 minutes old or something. So, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But just today, there have been 60,977 positive reviews as of the time that I refreshed the store page on Steam.
Damn.
Today. So, it's turning around. Also, did you guys hear that they're turning the past 3 days, negative review scores into a new cape for Helldivers 2?
Oh my
You'll be
god.
able to put the bar graph from the negative reviews onto your character as a
The Helldivers,
that's nice.
the Helldivers like negative review score look like the resub and then unsub when the non sequitur show went to shit.
Oh yeah. It's a giant drop. Like, what happened there? It's like, well,
Shall I regale you with a tale? Did you guys know that he recently had on somebody who was like, well, I don't really care that he doxed somebody, but how stupid was it that he doxed the wrong person?
No.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yeah. And then they're
Why?
supporting the guy who tried to do the dox on the show.
What
I
happened
mean,
to
I'll
me?
give you that doxing the wrong person is worse than doxing the right person, but that doesn't make doxing the right person the right thing to do.
Just because you're incompetent at doxing doesn't mean you're not a problem.
Yeah. Jeez.
It was really bad.
Who did he have on?
He had on that Black Wolf guy.
Oh
and
my
the Black
god.
Wolf guy was running around supporting that Roadhog guy who was trying to dox people. He's like a
Oh,
mod or whatever
no.
for that guy.
Oh,
And he was
no.
on Non Sequitur Show promoting the Roadhog guy. It's fucking wacky, man. We're wacky
Oh,
racers.
that whole corner is just a bunch of fucking idiots. God.
Yo, it gets better. So it is currently Monday, right? So
Mhm.
Kat's been out of the bag for a while because Aaron doesn't shut the fuck up. And her second hearing is on the Wednesday, Thursday, so the 8th and the 9th, I'm pretty sure. So she's prepping to leave like tomorrow so she can go to court to finish her harassment hearing. And that's 2 days. So we're going to get to find out what the hell the ending of that's going to be soon.
Does that mean you're going to be making another round trip down to wherever the hell you went to last time?
Kansas. It's
Nope,
not.
I'm going to Kansas.
Yeah, that's not this time. I already did my part for. I'm doing my part. I already
I
did.
do fucking shit.
I already did that for that one, but there is another one coming up, which is Steve's hearing that got pushed back, and that got pushed back all the way to July.
Oh,
So
lovely.
I might be going to that one. Maybe, maybe not.
Oh,
Wouldn't it be the first time you've
no.
actually talked to Steve or seen Steve in person, like not a computer screen?
I've never met Steve in person. That's never been a thing. I did warn him years ago that if he fucked me, I would drop kick him in person. And what better way to do it than to show up at court and be like, metaphorically drop kick him through the
Okay.
legal system.
bruise the shit out of his shins.
I was just picturing you flying through the courtroom with your feet in front of you, just kicking him.
Bicycle kicking.
I can just picture this like in art form, a small tiny gremlin doing wee,
Yeah.
and it's going wee.
So I believe I'm on the witness list already because I was already on the witness list for California, the California one that he brought forward then dropped.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that one. So I'm probably going to be sitting on the stand being like, can you define swatting? And I'm going to be like, son of a bitch.
How did you get through his fortress? His shields are impenetrable. Front door was unlocked.
Is he still
Son of a bitch!
claiming to have been swatted? Is that still a thing he's doing?
Yes.
Yes.
He was doing
Jesus
that
Christ.
last month. He was like, I was swatted. He was fucking talking about the guy who was like attacking his wife, and then she ran out of the house screaming, and the cop shot the guy with a shotgun that he was lifting at the
Yeah.
cop. He was sitting there defending the guy with the shotgun who was abusing his wife because he's like, he didn't make a move for the shotgun, but if you watch the video, he's like pulling the shotgun up.
Oh
my
I hate
God.
cops. That is the most defensible shooting I've ever seen.
Yeah. Not every time a cop shoots someone was it the wrong call.
Hey,
Right.
Manya, are you working yet? Did you get that figured out?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Hey!
Yeah.
Yeah!
We can at least
Manya.
hear you.
Hello.
Okay, before anything, Manya and Egghead, have you guys met each other?
I think
We have
we have.
tagged each other on Twitter maybe once in a full moon or something,
Yeah.
blue moon like that.
Full moon.
Hi again, how you doing?
I'm all right. How you
Hey,
doing?
Manya, could you check which mic you're using?
Oh boy. I'm using my phone's too much noise, is it? Is it too much background noise?
I
No,
mean,
the
it
background
sounds
noise
like
isn't bad. You just sound like shit.
you sound like a 1930s radio broadcaster.
Oh, quick,
come
quick,
on.
quick. Start saying lines. Yeah, they're saying lines from Alistar from Hasbro Hotel.
I'm about to end your fucking life.
Is this better?
No.
I want to
Try and hold it from a distance because you're like daggers in my ears.
Anyone remember?
Now?
I want to.
That sounds better.
Now?
Does anyone remember the name of Ryden Jenkins?
Oh yeah.
He painted
I'm
this,
sorry, guys. I'm on my phone. I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah, you sound better now.
and I'm gonna
Okay,
get.
good.
I'm gonna be getting this painting pretty soon.
Let's see if I can make egg. Oh, whoops.
Oh no.
There we
Uh-oh.
go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Nice.
be getting this painting pretty soon.
Yeah.
Ah, that's awesome.
Oh, that's magnificent.
I can't wait for season 2 to get here.
Oh, me too.
Right? Oh my god.
And we're doing
I-
it with a smile.
The only thing I hope is they pace things out a little better, because that's my biggest criticism of season 1, because everything is like so hyper rushed.
At least we can have our hearts broken with Hell of a Boss coming up later this month.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't find
Bonus
the
and Blitz.
I didn't find the pacing bad in Hazbin Hotel. What I found that didn't work so well was the timeline of the 6 months wasn't very
Mhm.
clear. If that had been more clear,
Yeah.
I think that would have been good.
They
But
just, like,
I think you could have actually just made that fine by just throwing like a title card to be like 8 days remaining, 3 months remaining. Like, you know what I mean? Like
right.
something like that would have been fine.
It's like they do a major time skip every single 2 episodes. They do every single week.
I don't know if you're watching chat at all, but Alex said, Egghead, that you could get an NFT. Oh, wait, that joke aged as well as NFTs.
NFTs came and went like Thanos snap.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Good.
I think last I heard, like over 90% of all NFTs collections have a market valuation of $0.00.
Yeah.
Really, that much?
Good.
Yeah.
It makes sense because
Really?
they're worth less.
That's
So some of them are still
Love
worth
to
something.
see it.
Yeah, there are a few that are still actually seeing trading volume at prices that are not negligible. But it's very, very few. Like, actually, I think Bored Apes is probably going to end up being worthless because of all the frequent hacks. But like, yeah, there's a few that have like people trading them for a few hundred or a few $1,000s.
Gord says
crazy.
they hope that number doesn't include the Trump NFTs.
Oh God.
oh god, oh boy, oh boy.
Hey,
oh
all
boy.
I gotta say with the Trump NFTs, the people who wasted their fucking money deserves to lose their fucking money on that bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't. Go ahead.
I want the AI bros out there to know which side they're on. We have like the left who doesn't touch that shit, and they have the right that's just grift and ever live the fuck out of NFTs and crypto and AI and all that shit.
Mhm.
I hear that. I like to think that I'm trying to get my new lights to work. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm futzing around. Now it's very red in here.
She's a Sith Lord.
Now you need the blue light on the other side, and now you have bisexual lighting.
Bisexual lighting. Hey yo. Hey yo.
There you go.
Hey, that's better.
With the bisexual lighting up in here.
How's everyone doing?
Hey.
Just checking in.
Doing all right.
Done pretty darn good.
Good,
We're
good,
vibing.
good. I'm still
Vibing.
packing up for my move at the end of the month.
Is that going well, by the way?
Oh,
I
boy.
mean, I
Packing and stuff?
already got my renter's insurance taken care of. I've gotten my electric company set up for the 31st, so a day before I move, so that's good. Internet's going to be provided on the day that I move there. So the only thing that I need to do is get a cashier's check for the actual place, and I'll be good to go to get the keys. Boxing pretty much going pretty well. Majority of my stuff is in my closet and on my walls. The only thing that I'm going to be taking with me on actual move date: bed, desk, TV stand, my computers, dresser behind me, nightstand to the back over there, and pretty much any wall decorations that I have that are right behind me. I'm hoping I can move in a day before the actual move if I can get my keys on time.
Ooh, yeah, that's always nice when you get an extra day or two to actually do the physical moving.
Oh yeah.
I haven't moved. I move all the time. All the time.
The
You would
gremlin's always on the move.
Right? I've moved. Oh my god. I'd have to count. I would actually have to sit down because I was in Nova Scotia,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stayed at my mom's place for maybe a year because it was COVID, so it took me a little bit of time
Oh my god.
to even move out.
Right.
And then I stayed, and then when I moved out of that place to where I am now, I stayed at my mom's for the weekend just to make moving easier.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna be moving from this place probably by the end of the year.
Oof.
Maybe. Depends. It just depends on if I can
Nice.
find like a
Is that the house with the 4 roommates?
3. Yeah.
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 Hopefully, I
Uh,
never have to move again. In fact, I'm moving my dad and my sister in with me.
I need to dispose of a lot of shit from my house. I don't use that, but I still have them like shoes and clothes. I'm just like, why aren't they sitting in my garden shed rotting?
You cannot
Why?
do that to me. Oh, I cut rocks. Who has a YouTube channel now where they cut rocks? Imagine, very clear. What is that? Branding. They said,
Mortal
"Shasha,
enemies.
I've got an empty trailer for you if you don't mind that kind of living close enough to Canada that you can escape back if need be." Bro, you can't offer me shit like that. I literally had a whole
She's a
design for a
goblin.
tiny house. I will literally live in your backyard.
Dude, she's a goblin. Why? Seriously. Offering a trailer to a goblin. Holy moly.
That's
Do you
SOS.
hate us? Do you hate us? Okay.
The worst part of the whole moving is, getting enough boxes to actually move stuff. Like, the worst thing that I had was, like, all of, like, unused pictures were in my closet when I
Yeah.
first moved into this apartment, like, a couple years ago. And I decided to just put them all in, the boxes then right then and there. And worst mistake ever, because I was trying to lift that sucker into, out of my bedroom, into my car. And I don't know if
Out
the
the
camera,
bottom.
but like right here,
Oh,
you can see
yeah.
there's like a little flourish. I bruised my fucking bicep, just a small bit. Luckily, I didn't tear anything off of the goddamn thing.
Oof.
But yeah,
Damn.
like it was not fun. Like, it happened literally a week ago, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing that ever again.
Slick says that they've made a decision and that they're looking for a flat, and he has a boyfriend who passed away, and if that person's flat comes up, he's gonna try and get it
Oh wow.
because they lived there for a really long time. I guess that's brave.
That's cute. That's cute.
That's cute and brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, brave and
Both.
cute
Why
at the
not
same
both?
time.
Hmm. Cute, scary, cute, brave, cute.
Cute, worrisome.
Cute concern.
Yeah.
The biggest question is, I cut rocks. Do the rocks tell you whether they're atheist or theist before you cut them?
Oh, he found out what's inside. Did you find atheism in or babies inside?
Yeah.
What
did
about
you-
baby
yeah.
atheists?
Baby atheists.
Could you find any conscious?
A for effort. Effort. So we talked about Helldivers. We talked
Mhm.
about where Egghead's at with moving.
Yep.
We talked about what is that? We were talking about something at the beginning, right? Oh, right. We talked about what was going on with the lawsuits. Hi.
Talk about.
Hello.
Can't be
Yeah.
speed running the topics like that, Josh.
Yes, we can. I want to go to bed.
It's 8:39 where she's at.
Stonebutt got into a transphobic argument
Oh,
with
no.
AT2 Productions on Twitter.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what did
Yeah.
he do?
So-
Oh,
So
Boy.
I haven't watched it yet. I had removed AT2 from stuff because I was told some interesting stories by people and was like, nope, fuck that. So I just removed that whole crew from everything because I didn't want anything to do with that because they were doing some
that
transphobic
fucking
bullshit.
coward. That
So-
fucking coward.
Yeah, they were doing some like really not kosher shit on their veteran talk. But I haven't
Like
read through your
moving
thread
him.
yet.
Oh,
Yeah, but basically it started with well, yeah, you know how Steve, he occupies a fucking 4-bedroom house in my head, so I was just looking at his tweets, and so someone by the name of Cassandra of Troy replied to hit one of his tweets with "Trans women are women," and then AT2 Productions stepped in, used his middle finger to adjust his glasses, and says, "Well, actually, Then
Oh,
why the
God.
unnecessary additional 5 letters?
What? Like, as in, like the 5 letters meaning
my
like
God.
LGBTQAI plus.
Hey,
like
watch,
that?
trans.
watch me do a
LGBTQIA+. It's not
watch me
that
do a
hard.
parallel
What the fuck?
construction. Swedish women are women. Why the unnecessary word? I don't know, because maybe I'm talking about a particular subset. You fucking idiot.
I mean, that was my response to him. You know, I
But
responded.
who asked him for his opinion in the first place? That's my question.
I
Twitter.
responded with because she's describing a certain subset of women whom transphobe deny the womanhood of retard. You know, short women, tall women, fat women, skinny women, young women, old women, white women, black women. Don't cease being women just because you put a modifier on women.
You mean like adjectives?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's a
Start-
new concept.
Yeah, and then he just got like real fucking obstinate. You know, oh, so that trans is, you know, the modifiers are describing physical traits. So if there's nothing difference between trans and normal women, you're like, yeah,
What?
it just gets real fucking stupid from then on.
That's so weird. That's such a weird hang up. Like, did he think it
What
was
the
a gotcha?
I
Like,
think he thought it was a gotcha.
That's so
No, the thing is that
bizarre.
what's the problem? Like, what's the problem with extra letters? What's the problem? What's the fucking problem?
Because he's
I don't get it.
transphobic, and he's too much of a coward to say he's transphobic, so he has to debate bro all this shit.
That
Oh.
entire group of people debate bros everything. They treat every single conversation like it's a fucking debate. And it's like, and they treat everybody that doesn't agree with them like they're flat earthers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't understand why you would even try to have that kind of a conversation. I did see somebody posted something about cladistics, that like Steve was trying to create a cladistical hierarchy for trans people.
What the fuck?
Fucking
I was
hell,
very-
man.
I was really confused, like very confused, because it was like, being charitable, I think he was trying to say human, subset binary, male, female, additional subset trans men and trans women, but he didn't specify which subset they would go. So like trans women would go under they were a subset of men, which doesn't make sense because there's no other subset to divvy into. Let alone that the whole thing doesn't. That's not how cladistics works.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
I'm on Steve's Twitter again. The mantra trans women are women does not help the TRAs in their arguments. It clearly is an attempt to conflate biology with gender expression. It's misleading and intellectually dishonest. This fucking Muppet. This fucking Muppet is the one that's conflated biology with gender expression.
Well,
All the time.
Every
Every time.
single
All the
time.
time.
I don't get it. I just don't know why you would try to turn this into like nested hierarchies. Like it doesn't make any sense. At one point, I think I saw him saying something somebody had sent me him saying something along the lines of, "But what if a woman wanted to transition into a trans woman?"
Yeah. A cis woman transitioning into a trans woman.
What?
What?
Oh, what? Nani?
Like-
Nani the fuck?
I understand. Like, I'm sympathetic to women who feel uncomfortable with trans women about specific topics. Like, in certain circumstances. Like, I can understand that. But feeling uncomfortable is not the end-all, be-all of someone else's existence. That's pathetic. That's ridiculous. Like, if you don't want to talk about your first period with a trans woman, cool. Don't.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Like,
You don't actually have to talk about that with anyone if you don't want to. You can
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
exactly.
so weird. But that's like
I-
one of those things that like girls keep all these secrets about, like what the girls' bathroom is really like, or like what happens with this or that or the other
Oh
thing.
god.
And then you have
There's a
men who are
dragon
out
in the
there.
girls' bathroom.
Then you have men who are out there who their significant other, who's a woman having a period, asks them to pick up pick up pads with wings, and he shows up with pads and a pack of chicken wings, and it's like,
Yeah.
All
it's
right,
like,
but
you're-
to be fair, is it ever a bad time to get chicken wings?
and especially not when you're on
Never.
your period. That's
Yeah,
great.
see?
Continue to do that, but also maybe. But the reason men don't know these things is because women don't talk about these things, and the reason women don't talk about these things is because it's like an unkept secret. But the reason it's an unkept secret is to shame women for talking about it in the first place, and it's just totally just cracked.
What I really like, if I may dare say, is the entitlement that trans women bring with them. Chesh, I think so. You might understand what I'm saying, right?
So that you mean that they
Certain
grew up
level-
as they grew up with this expectation of being treated a certain way because they are men and they at the time, and so or like they presented as men
Yeah.
at the time, and therefore they expect to
Yeah.
be heard, and trans women will bring that idea into women's spaces.
Yeah.
I actually love that about trans women because it adds so much to like feminism and like women having
Yeah.
voices, because they are adding like this level of force that women otherwise don't tend to have very much of, because of how like where women are coming from.
Steve, I just linked the tweet with Steve making his logical argument
Oh boy.
about trans women.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
I'm scared now.
Oh God.
Oh no. This man pays for Twitter?
Oh. You know, every fascist does.
All right, hold on. I'll put this on so you guys can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, because he blocked me.
Yeah, I've got it
you
open
got
in
the
a-
block too? That's a
Mhm.
badge of
I've
honor.
been blocked for a long time, but I've got it in incognito. Okay. I think that my logical argument that trans women, why is it in quotes?
And it's got all one word, which is another dog whistle.
Trans women are a subset of men works for the exact same similar reason that in phenology and cladistics you don't lose your historical nested hierarchy level. Dapper thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing about phylogeny. That actually has to do with genetic descent and ancestry. That's not what gender is.
Somehow.
It's just not. You could
Thank
say,
you.
it's okay. You can say that I have something that I want to act like cladistics and phylogeny and things like that, right? And you can try to make it do that, but that's going to be an artificial imposition that you're putting on whatever it is you're talking about. That's not going to be something natural that you're drawing out of it, unless it actually has to do with some kind of descent, right? You can do it naturally with languages because languages actually descend from each other, right? Like French and Italian and Romansh all actually descend from Latin, like for real. There's an actual ancestor there.
Right.
But if you try to do it with anything else, it's going to, one, break apart because it's not actually about descent, and two, it's going to be an external imposition, right? If you want to say, okay, I'm going to set up, even with natural things, right? Like I'm going to have a nested hierarchy of rocks. And we're going to have sedimentary and igneous and metamorphic, the ones that you all heard of. Oh, okay, hold on. Don't metamorphic rocks come from sedimentary and igneous rocks? Oh, man, so doesn't that mean that they're actually different subsets of igneous and, oh, look, it already broke apart. Oh, wait, what's tough? Oh, wait, tough is stuff that...
They're all fungi at the end. And moss.
When all you got is a hammer and you're retarded.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it never
no.
actually works, is what I'm ultimately saying. It's like, you just
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah. How do I put the screen?
I mean, you
share back?
can, but it's going to
Oh,
break.
there we go. Got it. Okay. Argument 1. Only biological men, plural, in set X as, I don't know how to read this, can transition to, like, I don't know how to say that out loud. Does you
Wait,
guys know how to say that out loud?
Why does he have a space in between men and parentheses S?
Because he doesn't know how to type.
Because
Anyway,
men is the set.
right.
Yep.
Oh,
Anyway, can transition to be a trans woman if the S is the initial set of X given whatever the fuck, where really he made it SEX?
Is
He
that a bannable
there-
word on Twitter? Is that a
there
bannable
is-
word on Twitter?
There is no way he did that on purpose. that
So-
is too clever.
I'm already noticing. I already know what the problem with his logic is. And his logic is that biological men is one. He's assuming that it's well defined. It's actually not that well defined. And two, he's assuming that it's identical with men as a sociological concept, which it's also not the same as. And because the claim isn't that biological males are becoming biological females, and that the word man is synonymous with adult biological male, and that the word woman is synonymous with adult biological female, because that's never actually how those words are used. Even if you think that's how you're using them, you're not.
Yeah, because it's sociology. People in groups have general identifiers, but they're only ever general. They're not exact. What a woman isn't defined by any singular woman. It's defined by a generalized group.
Oh my God.
And that's not even, and the generalized group is just that. It's a generalized group. It's not an exact thing. So it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, basically, he's just trying to be like bioessentialist, and he's doing a bad job of it. In part because his take is almost completely opaque the way he's written it. Because for some reason, Steve has like a fetish for like formal logical notation, which virtually no one bothers with outside of actual formal logical papers. Which this isn't. It's a fucking tweet, Steve. I've said before, and I'll repeat here: Shitter is the bathroom wall of the internet. It's where you just go scrawl some random shit you thought out one day. This is not the place for formal.
Because he wants
Logic.
to show off himself as an intellectual. That's why he's so desperate for someone on Twitter to validate that. Yeah, you're very intelligent, Steve. Yeah.
Oh,
but
you want to know
please
something?
teach us more.
Oh, you want to know something else? I saw him do. Some people were like mocking him, saying he has the reasoning ability of a flat earther, which he kind of does. And so, in order to argue against that, he changes the subject to bring up his fucking definition of atheism article.
What the
Oh
fuck
my
does
lord.
that have to... What?
Exactly. Yeah, he just
What?
drops it. He drops it like a hot turd.
But it
Look-
wouldn't even work.
No, it doesn't.
It would work against him.
Look, the argument in the whole atheism versus agnosticism versus theism thing is a completely different kind of thing, right? Because we're talking about what definitions are in use both historically and are useful right now, and do not conflate things that are separate, right? Conceit argument basically comes down to historically these words were used this way. That usage is actually the most useful usage because it results in the minimum of ambiguity on the
Actually,
subject about which we're talking.
I don't think he's ever gotten that far in the argument. He gets to step 1, but never gets to conversation 2 because he's too stubborn.
I mean, maybe. It's been a while since I read his little paper thing.
Well, he'd have to not block the people who are trying to talk to him.
And then complain that he doesn't have people to talk to on Twitter. If, quote, trans women are women, as legal tweets claims, then who exactly could ever become a trans woman other than biological males?
Oh my God.
Specifically, what would constitute a woman becoming a trans woman? How can one become something that they already are? Listen, I'm double woman, loser.
Again, he's just conflating biological sex and the sociological phenomenon of gender. That's all that's happened. That's the entire problem with all of this. That's the root cause. Is Steve is incapable of separating the performative aspects of what has traditionally been seen as manliness with the biological things that are traditionally tied to those performative aspects. He doesn't have a way to differentiate those within his brain because fundamentally, Steve is stupid.
The thing is that instead of focusing on the real issues, where trans women are excluded from conversations, or they are harmed, they are attacked and not taken seriously and not given jobs, discriminated everywhere, he's talking about this bullshit because this is so much more easy. This is like Chef says all the time, it's that rotten fruit lying on the ground. That's what it is. Instead of talking about the main issues. When it comes to talking about the main issues, he's okay with the explanation that why trans women cannot have access to female toilets or have their own toilets is because the architecture does not permit it.
I'm never gonna let that go. It's so funny. It's
Zero
so
brains.
What a meme. Because how would you differentiate between a woman who is pre-transition to trans woman as opposed to a woman who is post-transition? What are the discernible distinctions which are evidential and empirical ways to make such determinations? I don't know,
Empirical?
Steve.
Seriously?
How do you tell if a woman's a virgin? Obviously, you have to go probing to see if her hymen's still intact, you
Hmm.
fuck.
Oh my god!
Oh my
what?
god.
If it isn't the case that only males can be trans women, then what would a woman who becomes a trans woman specifically mean? I still have yet for the pissed off lawyer to answer a single one of my questions, but I'm
Because
still
that's a
trying to
stupid
ask them. I really
question.
want to know. And then he tagged at least one other transphobe.
That's such a
I,
why,
yeah,
okay. Hold on a minute. Hold
Wow.
on. Why is that question number one doesn't matter? Why does that question matter? I don't get it.
Well, the question makes no
that's
sense.
not a question at all.
because Steve
that's
has to
not a
debate,
question.
bro.
That's
Steve
just-
has to be right.
He just walked
That's
into a
just
room and said,
garbage.
"What is a flobbity floob?" and nobody answered him. That's what happened.
Steve walks
Like,
into the
what-
room, drops out.
Again, he's just focusing on low-lying rotten fruit that does not add anything to the conversation. Nothing, nada. And then when we start talking about the actual issues, it exposes his transphobia. That's why he keeps himself stuck to these like stupid like conversations, because he knows if he starts talking about the main issues, his transphobic asshole will get exposed. So yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing too,
Excuse my
right?
French.
How Steve, the individual, views trans women, the group, is not really relevant to much of anything. How you view them doesn't matter. They still are
Exactly.
people. They still get to have rights. Let them use
They
the
are
bathroom,
humans.
you
Yeah.
fucking weirdo.
No, we
So
gotta have
weird.
security
God.
guards at the bathrooms to
But-
check people's
How
genitals.
dare
But
thee.
Steve has to protect women as he wants them to be battered by abusive husbands with shotguns.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah,
and
no,
right,
he
and-
wants
and-
to. He
as
wants
he's
to.
a
He wants to.
abuser, yeah.
He wants to protect the women at his like security job at a fucking local grocery store, you know, because to feel badass, right? You know, women who have always been like looking after themselves and been protecting themselves. He wants to feel a hero by saying, "Oh, I protect them all. Whenever they get called out shit, I do that. Especially the black women of the community. I always stand up for them." Bitch, you don't. You
And
never
then
did.
immediately he gets swatted
Never
and is
did.
like, but what if I was a black lesbian, though?
I take offense to that. I take offense to that.
Egghead,
Yes.
sweetheart. Your thoughts on this matter? Because you've been like in and out. Because you were one of the people he messaged like 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh God.
thoughts, questions, concerns?
The downfall of Steve McRae is just—it's like a train wreck. You can't just look. You can't just not look away.
Right?
It's just
Uh,
I want to look away, but I can't. I get
Yeah.
stuck.
Did you see him shitting on his daughter?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I did not. This is new for
somebody
me.
show this
Ever
guy.
since y'all split up, you two split up, it's just like, oh, okay, Steve McRae turned into an asshole. Okay,
Oh, he
I'm
didn't
moving
just
on.
turn into an asshole. The dude straight up he's gone full lol cow. He at one
Yeah.
point he went on stream, said that he can only stream for a little while because his daughter's supposed to be
Uh-huh.
coming over.
Oh my
A couple
God.
of hours
Mhm.
later, he's messaging back and forth with his daughter and explains like, "Oh yeah, she's just running late, you know, blah blah blah. She's in college now." Then she shows up. He tries to convince her to go on camera. She clearly states that she doesn't want to. He tries to flip the camera around on her. Then he gets up to have leaves. The stream is still running. He leaves,
Yeah.
has an audible argument with her off screen, then comes back. You hear the door slam.
Yeah,
Then
you need to clip
he
that whole thing out.
He complains a little bit, then gets up and leaves again, then a couple minutes later comes back and starts bitching about her. And this is all after he decided to tell us about her dating life, where apparently the guy she is currently seeing has broken up with her 3 times, and he's a cool dude.
Oh my
Oh.
god. Oh my fucking god. I'd forgotten about
Just
that part. Fuck.
To quote a person that I like to watch all the time. Woo!
Whoa, where do I go to see it? I need to sit down like see this.
I'll send you the link. It was on the Non Sequitur show.
Oh, the show that you used to be a part of.
Oh my god.
He
Oh my
really
God.
should stop using my fucking art, by the way.
The fact that
Yeah,
the
it's still here.
fact that it's still the oh my god.
Brainpart.
You know what
Brainpart.
would be really, really, really funny? And this is just like
He
a
just-
side note to myself that I think would be funny. This is
He
just,
just
a me
he
thing.
the fact that he's just going, he continues to just astonish me how going down in flames he is right now.
Yeah, I'll send it to you on
Discord?
Twitter so
Oh,
you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, just use Twitter. It's been right here. Okay, so the thing that I think would be really, really funny, right? So right now he's like he's got a lawsuit against him for harassment, right? For
Right.
harassing that Charlotte woman. And like if he ends up getting like owing her a bunch, like assuming he loses, right? This is a hypothetical, by the way. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh,
but
okay, I know what
if
you're talking about.
in a world, if Steve loses and he has to pay her a bunch of money, do you think he has to like the Non Sequitur show will have to get handed over?
What's it worth?
Because it would be really funny if the Non Sequitur show had to get handed over to like Charla as like collateral or something, and then I could probably just be like, "Hey Charla, can you give me the Non Sequitur show?"
Oh my god.
what was the timestamp of him ranting?
Oh, go to the end.
So
That's when he starts he rants at the end.
the thing with collecting on like a lawsuit kind of thing is usually you go after assets that can actually meaningfully help recover the value.
Yes,
the
and the
Non
Non
Sequitur
Sequitur has
show-
no value.
Yeah, that I mean, how much would you pay to have a Non Sequitur show? I mean, I can't imagine that it was worth more than a few $100s.
Who
Jeff,
would
could-
spend a
could
few
you send me the link
$100s
too?
on it? Are you kidding? He should be trying to give that fucking thing away.
I mean, it's basically dead. It has virtually no views.
Like I said, this isn't like a real thing. This is a funny hypothetical joke. This doesn't matter. It's just it was a funny passing thought that I had.
And
Yeah.
then it happens.
I mean, the only people who could
If it
possibly-
happened, I would fucking piss myself laughing. I'm not gonna lie.
the only people who I can see valuing that channel are the people who like hack channels in order to put up like
Tesla
weird
live streams.
like Tesla live streams were like weird ads for like
Awkward.
Chinese companies as shorts or something. And it's like, well, it's going out to like 27,000 subscribers, so you know it's worth like $50.
But you guys know what I would do with it, right?
I mean, I would assume just have actual shows on it.
Oh,
Actually-
bro.
Actually make
No.
it good.
No. I would make one video, and it would be this. Me spinning around in the chair and being, "Good evening.
Going, good evening, Mr. Bond.
I'm sure you're surprised to see me here.
Haha.
Well, welcome. But my evil plan to destroy the Non Sequitur show, as foretold by Nick Suter 7 years ago, has come to fruition, and I am going to destroy this channel. And,
And
then
then
a
you press-
countdown timer is going to come up, and I'm going to say this entire channel will be deleted in 24 hours. If you have anything you want to download, get it now, losers. And then
Just press a
fucking-
little red button that goes beep.
You know,
I
that
would
is a
delete the
that
whole
is a
fucking
perfect
thing.
way.
It's cursed. I'm
Oh my
going to
God, you
protect
could do
the
like-
world.
You can do what fucking Markiplier did with Unis Honest.
Yeah.
Like back when the height of 2019 and then COVID happened and then like everyone was like all aware of how popular that channel got and then literally they shut it down within 1 year's time.
So Insidious Gorilla said Steve could always settle out of court with Charla for a date with him at Applebee's.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
You gotta get that. You gotta get those good stuff at the Applebee's.
Like the
Gotta get them
concrete.
wings. Gotta get them wings at Applebee's.
Full lol cow egghead. I shit you not.
I've missed out so much
Who's
within the
more of a
last time I was
lolcow
here.
now? Brett Keane or Steve?
Jared.
Oh,
Jared. I agree.
He's not even in the not even in the topic, but Jared.
Yeah. Actually, tell us about Jared. You recently had a video come out about him.
Oh God, yeah. Today, I responded to a video that he pretty much just that was actually taken down for hate speech, and I'm pretty sure I had something to do with it.
Good.
And
Does he just refuse to? Is he referencing you a lot and just refuses
no,
to
he
use
has
your
not. He
name?
does not reference me at all. He
Oh, okay.
refuses to actually acknowledge me.
Sorry, guys, had to go.
Okay, Mania.
Bye,
No, no,
Mania.
I mean,
Bye.
I had to go.
See
Now I'm
ya.
back.
Oh, she's
Oh, are you
back
back?
now. Never mind.
Oh,
Welcome
back.
back.
Welcome back now.
Thank
I'm back,
you.
bitch.
Jared. Yeah, I think you're just referring to Jared
Yeah.
Genesis.
Exactly. Yep. Jared Genesis, the quote unquote. I'm just gonna.
Oh,
air
the
quotes,
fourth
alpha
Jared that I know
male.
of that's a piece of shit.
Exactly.
You got a tally going.
Yeah. I had a former roommate named Jared. We have AT2 Productions. There's Jared Fogle, and now there's Jared Genesis.
Mm-hmm. It's so bad.
Oh my
And-
god,
and, like, I would say that-
Jared's.
And the fourth, and I believe the fourth Jared is possibly the worst of them all.
Easily. But-
We're all aware of the fact that he likes to dox people.
Yeah.
And his
Yeah,
most
maybe-
recent one
Maybe
was
Steve will have him on NSS.
oh Christ.
Oh god.
No, he won't even go on anyone else's channel to have an interview.
Really?
Yeah, he that's one of his like main things because he does not do
He doesn't trust
interviews
anybody.
at all. No, he does not trust a single fucking person because he knows in his own words that he'll believe that they're quote unquote clout chasing. It's like, and I'm just thinking to myself, what clout do you have? None. And his most recent video was just, a typical hate video from him because he's just spewing hate speech against a protective group of people, which being people who have autism.
Right. He was like shit talking people with autism as if like
Mhm.
as if they're non-functioning. It was very
Exactly.
weird. I watched your
Doesn't
video
he
already. I
know
was
how
like, what the fuck?
powerful we are?
Exactly. And then literally, so I reported it. I woke up around 4 a.m. my time, which is 4 a.m. Central, and I see that YouTube sent me a notification saying that they removed or restricted one of the video that I reported. So I go and checked, and it was the video that he was bashing autism. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. Normally with YouTube, they just like about warnings or strikes. I'm thinking that this is probably his first warning or first strike. I don't know. Normally with Jared, whenever he gets a strike, he just deletes the channel and starts new, thus restarting the cycle again.
Yeah, the cycle of
it-
Jared.
Mhm.
Isn't he like permanently banned from YouTube?
He's been permabanned from
No.
YouTube multiple fucking times, but he doesn't give a crap about the rules of YouTube.
Well, I mean,
Just comes back.
YouTube should care, right?
They don't
You'd
ever. They don't
Oh.
IP ban him. That's the thing.
He does seem too stupid to get around an IP ban.
Yeah.
but
But like as the day went on, I'm thinking to myself, okay, normally what he does is he uploads it he goes from either BitChute or to Rumble. I check his BitChute because that's on his page. That's on his actual fucking page, his YouTube channel, and I swear to Christ, and it says the channel. It was uploaded yesterday, and I swear to Christ, the description of the video. Oh my God. Get fucked, bitches. You ain't gonna get rid of my vid that easy. Winking face, inward bitch.
What?
Mhm.
what?
That's literally the description of that
The actual
of the video.
N-word?
Yes, with the hard R.
Oh, hard R.
Oh.
He does. He actually posts on his Gab. There are actual posts where he drops the hard R
That
too.
site is still around.
Yep.
Gab.
Yep. Oh yeah, Gab's still around, and there are posts where he actually posts the hard R. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh yeah, he uses slurs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like he uses like the F
F-slur.
slur for gay people, the N word. Like
The
it's
R
not.
word.
Yeah, that's not unusual for him. He's all about that.
Oh, it's bad.
Ye-
It's so bad.
I
was
feel
like-
bad because like because I do my stuff on YouTube. I am like I have to follow YouTube's rules, so I really don't like it, but I have to censor my guests a lot where I have to say, "Listen, I understand I shouldn't be the one like it's not up to me to tell you how to speak or to change your language because like this is particularly like I think a lot of black people suffer from this where the YouTube will like just works against them for no discernible reason. There's so many good like anime video streamers and podcasters and video makers that are black people, like American, like black Americans, and their channels just do not get the same traction because why? Because YouTube thinks that they get to tell people I get that it's sticky, but I always feel really bad when I have to be like, listen, it's not me, and I'm really sorry, and I'm not trying to tell you how to speak or censor you, but please have mercy on me.
Yeah. I will say this though. Thanks to Jared, I just reapplied for partnership.
No.
Yeah, Jared is the reason why I've been able to fucking reapply to partnership because all those views equal so many watch hours for me. As I was like,
That's
okay, he's my golden ticket to get
hilarious.
to being repartnered because when YouTube changed their rules of partnership, I think either 2018 or 19 or whatever the year was. It was like the height of the Logan Paul incident that changed everything.
Yeah.
They changed their rules of who gets into the partnership program, and so my account wasn't eligible because I didn't meet the required my requirements. And so it's like, okay, I guess I'll get back into that. So then I noticed that whenever I make a new channel or new content about Jared, it just goes higher up in the watch hours. So I just like, I'm gonna try something. So that's why I've been posting nothing but Jared content, and
it worked.
Rarely. Sometimes I would like post something maybe on Melanie Mac, or maybe I might do something fun with Jeffrey.
That's hilarious.
But the fucking Jared content that I've made has actually gotten me been able to get me all the requirements. So now I'm just playing the waiting game for the AdSense to be associated with my account again.
That's perfect irony. So I was sent this by someone in the chat. They Twitter DM'd it to me,
and they're using light mode.
You monster! What is
I am
wrong
blind.
with you?
I am blind. I can't see.
Any father who has a guy in the photo in a woman's space with their daughter who isn't concerned for her well-being isn't much of a father.
What?
This isn't being transgender.
What?
This is literally public expression of a man's sexual fetish. That is the distinction many people are trying to make, and they all get in response from TRAs is being unfairly labeled as transphobic. This has to stop. Age-restricted content.
What?
Why? So basically, Steve is saying, if you have a picture of your daughter and they're in a women's or girls' space, and there's a trans woman there, you're a bad father for not objecting to the presence of that trans woman. Great.
Okay, so I grew up with my parents split up, right? So my dad being a presence in my life with me and my sister, only girls, meant that if we wanted to do anything that involved any kind of change room, we would have to navigate that, right? As two children girls and an adult father, right? And you want to know how we did it? The YMCA in Canada has family change rooms. Weird, I know. But believe it or not, we were not traumatized. There was nothing weird going on. We went into the change room with our dad. There was naked men and naked women in there. It didn't fucking matter. Nobody cared. If you were nervous, there were additional stalls that you could go into to avoid stuff if you wanted to. It was really not a big deal. And then we would hose down in the regular shower things with our bathing suits on and then go into the fucking pool. Like, what the fuck?
So what you're telling me is that there is a pre-existing solution for this non-existent problem?
Not only that, but I would say that that was before like smartphones with cameras on them were a thing. So like sneaking a camera into like that kind of a space would have been really difficult, right? However, there's a really easy way to fix that too. Move the lockers outside of the change room and have a requirement that says your devices are not allowed to be in the change room. Done. Problem fucking solved, bro.
Oh boy.
But the architecture.
The architecture, though, man.
Oh no.
Yeah,
the
it somehow
piping.
takes up more space to have one room. Like,
But is everybody really that surprised that the whole thing they're concerned about is the plumbing? But it's so weird.
Men
So
like
weird.
Steve are the reason why women would rather go into a forest with a bear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Messenger Reveals makes a good point. Also, good to see you. I haven't seen you around for a while. Thanks for stopping by. To me, the solution is to make all bathrooms, locker rooms, and change rooms unisex. Stop the segregation, and it becomes the norm. That happens in places that aren't America.
Yeah, either have them all unisex or just have private changing rooms.
Individual ones, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And just have like a couple that are like family sized and have maybe some extra security or eyeballs on the family one so you don't see like some weirdo bringing a kid that doesn't belong to them into that space.
Right.
Right, which has nothing to do with whether or not that weirdo is a girl or a boy, like an adult man or an adult woman or however they're presenting themselves as. Right, it's a weirdo taking a kid that doesn't belong to them. Period. It doesn't matter. It's almost like this shit isn't that complicated, and there's some people that are making this complicated for some reason that I can't quite figure out what that reason is.
Could
It's like,
it be just hate trans people?
Could it?
Nah, that couldn't
could
be
it?
the reason. That couldn't be the reason.
No.
It's all the woke ideology, man.
It's a woke gender ideology. It's a gender ideology hydra.
It's all the woke nonsense. That's Disney's fault.
Athens in the chat said in alt capitals, "Why are you running? I'm a nice guy. I just wanted to talk about philosophy and the definition of atheism."
Why are you running? Why are you running?
What are you running? we spit on the enemy.
Tweet.
I love Uganda Knuckles so goddamn much. I want a mug. I want like a mug like this, but I want Uganda Knuckles' face on it.
Oh my god.
I would be so happy. Or like a hoodie that's got like the red with the little half crescent white, and like little knuckles on the sleeveys.
and a big floppy nose on the end of the hood.
Yeah.
Do you know the way?
I had okay. I need to. Oh, thank you so much, Messenger Reveals for 50. Said treat myself. Thank you. I will try to do that. Question: bear or man?
Bear or man?
If I shoot the bear, I'm not going to go to prison.
This is true.
I don't
mean,
want
that
to be
depends
near
on the
bears,
bear.
but
That
I
depends on
don't
the
want to
bear.
trust men either.
You
But
shoot
I
a
am a
panda.
man.
You shoot a
feel like it
panda.
also
I can
depends on
guarantee
the
you're going to
man.
prison. Well, yeah, there is that too. There are definitely situations when you can shoot a man and you're not going to go to prison.
I'm gonna put a poll in the chat, and then you guys can answer. But I feel like I should make it bear or man, and then make the answers yes or no.
Yeah. Bear or man? Bear. Bear.
So if you're trapped in the woods, so the idea is that if you're trapped in the woods, you have to choose between being trapped in the woods with a bear being there or a man being there. Nondescript either. It doesn't say what type of bear. It doesn't say what type of man. You just have to play the odds.
Yeah.
Because there's been lots of women being asked this question and lots of women answering, but we've got 4 male presenting people here. So I feel like it's only fair that we women step aside and quiet our voices and hear what the men have to say.
All right, man. The women have gone. Let's just rip out our dicks and have some fun. That's what men do, right? I don't know.
Yeah, we need that kung fu guy or whatever.
Sex kung fu. All right, Dapper, do you want to go first?
I mean, if it comes down to a physical confrontation, unless it's a baby bear, I have a much better chance of fending off a man. So I
It
guess
does not say a physical confrontation is required. It just says you're in the woods, you're stuck in the woods, and you're either come across a bear or a man.
still probably going to be a man because that's the worst case scenario is a physical confrontation.
Fair
It
enough.
also doesn't what type of bear are we dealing with? Black bear or brown bear?
You don't get to know. You play the
Yeah.
odds. The bear
Yeah.
could be dead.
Maybe it's a spectacle
Oh.
bear. That'd be cool. If it's a spectacle bear, I take spectacle bear.
What's the little red pandas?
Well, they're not bears.
I would love the pandas.
They're so
Those things are cute.
Red
All right.
pandas are very cute, but they're not bears.
So
They're
Dapper's gonna eat the man. Fair.
I mean, I am a 2-meter tall dinosaur with sharp teeth.
You got pretty good chances. Your odds are good.
You could bite at their ankles.
I can find it their
He's
head.
bigger than that. Yeah, he's 2 meters.
Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I forget. Y'all are on different measurings than me. I'm using freedom units here.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
mean deer?
America.
How many
I
deer
would-
tall are you, Dapper?
So
yeah.
like mule deer, white-tailed deer, elk. What are we talking about here?
Big Macs.
I'm gonna be like it. I don't know, at least like 30 big backs tall or something. I don't
30
know.
Big Macs tall.
How many
Christ.
washing machines do you weigh?
Star, what do you pick? You got a bear or you got a man that you stumble across while you're lost in the woods? Which do you choose?
Well, I'm lost in the woods. I'd rather eat a bear, so bear meat.
Bear meat. Egghead, who you picking?
I don't want to be like DiCaprio in The Revenant. However, knowing today's climate with toxic people, I think I would take out a knife. I have multiple knives. I could probably go stab on both man and bear. But for sake of that question, I'd probably go with bear.
Bear, you gonna take the
Mhm.
bear?
Yeah.
Stonebutt, what about you? Who you picking?
I mean, I already answered the question. Yeah, if as long as I don't fuck with the bear's going to leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good
Uh,
logic too. Yeah,
Just make yourself bigger if it does come
Not
after
a
you.
guarantee.
it's not a guarantee. No.
And if you're close enough to a bear for the bear to be bothered by you, you're the one who fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Or you
I
fuck
for
with the
one,
cubs.
most of you probably know my answer. I would pick the bear because odds are I have better chances of the bear leaving me alone than I do the man. I
Mhm.
guarantee you, if I'm lost in the woods and a dude shows up, that dude is not gonna leave me alone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not that he's necessarily even gonna do anything bad to me. It's
Even-
just that he's not
yeah.
gonna leave me alone.
Yeah, even a nice person would be like, "What's a woman doing out in the
I'm a
woods
nice
at this time
guy."
of night?"
I'm a nice guy.
Well, as a goblin, I am far more likely to be murdered by a man than I
Yeah,
am.
that's true too.
just if you're a goblin, just go all nifty on their asses. Stab,
Does
stab,
Dapper qualify as a man? Dapper qualifies as a male, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yes.
You
That
haven't seen my cloaca.
It's true, I haven't. That's why I said I believe and then asked for correction.
Dapper is a dinosaur.
yes.
Get it wrong.
I think for the sake of the hypothetical, he counts as a male.
Male. But that's not the same thing, though. That's
This
the
is
thing.
true. Yes.
I would say that no, I do not count as a man because dinosaurs are not inside of any human socially constructed ideas about performative gender.
right. They
Bort,
just they just live to eat.
Bort asked
If-
me to
if
do a
Age
poll
of Sail
next.
warships can be called a woman, Dapper can
What?
be a man.
I
The
picked
fact
the man
that
because the
warships
worst
are
thing.
referred
the
to with
worst
feminine
thing-
pronouns is not the same thing as being a woman.
The worst thing the bear's gonna do to me is kill me. Um,
Yeah,
It's gonna go
really.
all DiCaprio on you and maul you up, freaking
Yeah.
Good.
Revenant style.
I mean,
And
at least you feed him. You know.
even if I survive, like the worst I'm gonna like, great, cool, yippee.
I mean,
Right.
if you survive, you have an awesome story to tell.
The reason why I
Right.
say the reason why I constantly bring up the Revenant is like I don't want to go through that because I've seen what that shit brings us. Like that was like the worst visuals. Like visually speaking, it won DiCaprio the Oscar, yes, but at what cost?
Okay, but what if it's a cocaine bear?
Oh Christ, no!
Man, I'm running away from that bear. No.
I just
Just-
like I don't
just
want that bear to
ask
kill
the-
me.
Just ask the cocaine bear for some cocaine, and then you're on the same level. There you go. You're fine.
Messenger Reveals makes a solid point. What if the guy is hot and then I would be the one not leaving him alone?
Jesus. What an Uno
How-
reverse card that was
How
played
the
here.
turns have tabled.
Oh yeah, no, right? God, I've been defeated. Bort asked me to do a poll. Now that this one, we'll put the we'll end the poll because we got 20 votes out of 24 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button or whatever the fuck. We do these once a month, every like the first Monday of every month. So 75% said bear and 25% said man. Definitive. But Bort asked me to say now do a poll on what should go extinct. So all right, we will do that. So which should go extinct?
Bear
Oh,
or man?
man or
Is
bear?
it the same?
Man or bear?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Now,
So-
is it man as a species or just men?
Yeah, I do need some clarification.
I think it's just men.
Just
Yeah,
men.
we
Okay,
do
we'll
need
just
to,
we'll put men then.
Just
yeah,
men
we
all
do
around.
need to know these things before we go in. So it is
Okay.
important.
Do we want to specify like a specific bear? Like bear, but a specific species?
What's the most psychotic bear out there? Kodiaks?
Sloth
Huh?
bears are kind of scary.
Side.
All right, I'm going to do this. We'll do this. So there are 4 options for this poll. This poll is a little bit more complicated, right? So you get bear, men, humans, or bears, a specific species, but we didn't specify which type of species. So, Dapper, what do you think? What should go extinct?
I mean, I don't know that I have a positive idea that any of them should go extinct.
That's
I feel
fair.
like bears should be able to stick around. I think that I think as long as humans stick around, there's probably going to be some group of people that can be reasonably be termed men. So I think that men and humans going extinct would end up being like probably the same thing. Because you could say like, what if we have an ideal society where no one's actually in any kind of, societally constructed performative role? Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not.
Yeah.
There's never been a society like that. I don't expect there ever to
Well,
be
let's
one.
pretend that like the chain reaction of one of them just disappearing off the face of the earth right now is not relevant in the hypothetical. So like if all men disappeared, humanity would still just continue on as is,
Right.
just without men. Or if an entire species of bear disappears, it's not going to have a negative or any effect on the
Get rid of
ecological
pandas.
system. Get rid of pandas?
Pandas are like this.
How dare you?
All right. Sar,
Them
what are
and
you
their
thinking?
eating bamboo.
I-
eating ways.
I agree, like a specific one, because it's ironically, even though I'm a necromancer, less death. So a specific species of bear, probably pandas. Yeah.
Give
Honey
up
badgers aren't bears. You can't.
Honey badger don't give a shit. Honey badger don't give a shit.
Yeah, you genocidal honey badgers. The honey badgers will just come back. They don't care.
Honey badgers are specifically they're in the same family as weasels and otters.
Weasels.
Yeah, they are mustelids.
River weasels or river otters are terrifying. Egghead,
No.
what do you think?
Sloths. Get rid of
No,
sloths.
you do not attack sloths, okay?
You gotta
Sloths
pick a
are my
bear.
spirit
You
animals.
said pick a bear, so I said
mean-
sloth. And why we hate? Why I will not deal with panda slander. Because I will sit on my bed, do nothing all day, just eating branches of whatever the
Bamboo.
fuck they eat. All the goddamn bamboo.
It's
all
only
day
slander
long
if it's
I was
not
a
true.
pander.
It's only slander if it's not true.
And if I was in a different country than the regular pandas, I'd be a red panda.
There is such a
Look.
thing as a sloth bear, so we can take sloth bears now.
Look, I just want less death. That's the reason I chose what I chose.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you think about it, the human race is on a ticking time bomb anyway.
What do you
So
Well,
are
think,
pandas.
But
So are
I mean,
Oh,
if you,
men.
if you,
Men-
I
easily
don't mean to
men.
get dark or
Men are the
anything.
worst.
I don't mean to get dark or anything, but the human race is on borrowed time.
so are pandas.
yeah, so are
Yes.
pandas. Yeah.
No panda slander while I'm
So
here,
are
damn it.
polar bears.
Yes, those things too.
All right. So we got Dapper said panda bears. Sorry, which one did you say?
I agreed with him.
Panda bears. Got it.
Yeah.
Egghead says sloth bears.
Mm-hmm.
Stonebutt says men specifically.
Men.
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 Just men all around.
Quote, because men are the worst.
Wait, what if actually
needs
the top one, bear, actually just means hairy gay men? And that's
Oh
actually
no,
what
we
we're
can't get
going
rid
for?
of that. Like if we were
No,
not
not the
going to
hairy gay men.
extinct, if we were not going to extinct a specific type of men in the scenario, it would be bears.
Oh,
Let's be real.
but the twinks can stay? Is that the deal?
So
Twinks and bears get to stay. Everybody else can leave.
Oh,
What
okay.
about the Fen boys? Guy, we gotta
I love
keep
how-
the Fen boys.
I love how in the
We gotta keep
chat
the
it's
Fen boys.
literally human species and the bear species is as what do you call it? They're all tied up. Oh, nope. Okay.
It's so close.
It's like specific bear and human are neck and neck.
Yeah. So close. I don't know how I feel about. I think that like if we had to choose, I'd just be like, just get rid of the humans.
Wait.
just-
Which should go instinct?
Whoops.
what?
Oh my bad.
Like what?
I'm gonna go ahead and blame autocorrect for that one. Don't worry about it.
Christ almighty.
I didn't read the question. I just answered. That's funny.
All right, we're not talking about that anymore. Moving on.
Well, someone said, can we get rid of the Pooh Bears?
Ooh, is that an
No,
attack
no.
specifically on the leader of the CCP in China?
Not the rumblies and my tumblies. Oh bother. Piglet needs more
I'm a fan of removing what's the word I'm looking for? Without what's the word I'm looking for? Like with no fanfare and like in a sad way. Whatever. With getting rid of the leader of the CCP. What's
With
their
the
name?
Summary
environment.
execution.
Posing?
Xi Ping.
Yeah.
I
I have one last question for tonight, at least, and then we can just kind of like just keep chatting. Whatever. I have one last question to cover today. How do you guys feel about the guillotine?
Yeah.
What?
Babe,
What about it?
Bring on
Yes,
the guillotines.
I'm aware of the guillotine as a
Yes.
thing.
That's
How do you
such a-
feel about it?
That's such a written and she goes away. Okay.
I mean, it's not that random. She
What
was
are-
just talking about the premiere of China.
What are my general feelings about the guillotine?
I mean,
It's
I feel like
Effective.
it's been extremely underutilized when it comes to politicians in the last 100 years or so.
let's see here. When was the guillotine last used?
Probably like last year somewhere.
1977 in France.
Dear, jeez.
oh my.
Yeah,
You know what?
probably because they
That
still have the death
sounds like about
penalty
the
or
time the
something.
world started going to hell in a handbasket.
Look,
Or a
France
headbasket.
executed I can't even fucking pronounce his goddamn name.
Le Franche.
Hamida Jean Duby. I can't pronounce that fucking name for the life of me. Was
Put it in
convicted
private
of
chat.
torturing and unaliving a young woman. Makes sense.
Yeah.
He probably requested it. If
Look,
I-
And then he was the
gonna
last
guess.
person. This person was the last person to be executed by the guillotine in France in 1977, and capital punishment was outlawed in 1981.
Weren't women like black women specifically only allowed to open bank accounts in 1979?
I don't know that. I don't know for
Yeah,
sure.
that's not a date that I keep in my brain. Sorry.
I think
Yeah.
that's right. I'm just
I
trying to
mean,
compare it.
I mean, a lot
I
of
know
black
that-
women probably do.
I know
just
that
find it
it's
hilarious.
shockingly recent, but I don't know the specific day.
Yeah,
So-
what was it?
Oh, it was 1974. According to Google.
So, in regards to the actual question about how do I feel about the guillotine, while I am generally against capital punishment because of how frequently governments get wrong who should be executed, as you can tell by just going to things like the Innocence Project,
Yeah,
I'm willing to make an exception specifically for the guillotine and specifically for politicians and specifically for literally any crime at all, including traffic violations.
So you're saying that the government shouldn't be allowed to use the guillotine, but the people should be allowed to use the guillotine.
I mean, it can be the government who's using the guillotine on the politicians, but anytime they break
mean-
any law, whether it's jaywalking or going a mile over the speed limit, it's like, excuse me, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. You are, in fact, a state senator? Nope. Off with the head.
I mean, it
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
here's
think
the
you're too
thing.
much of a moderate on this issue. We should also be using the guillotines on the CEOs and millionaires and billionaires.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to complain too much.
Right. And
Go ahead.
here's
I'm just a traditionalist who likes to use guillotines on politicians. What can I say?
I mean,
Politicians
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like, I mean, I feel like only a certain type of radical people would use the guillotine. I mean, Christ, look what happened on January 6th.
That was a gallows, my friend. Not a
Still,
guillotine.
still,
This is a good point.
I still though it was a gallows back then, but I still feel like if they were more radicalized, they would probably say, "Bring out the fucking guillotine for that."
Somebody
You're
made-
way too lazy to make a working guillotine. Are you kidding me? You know how
Somebody
much more
made
work
an
that is?
interesting counterpoint. Alicia, as a counterpoint to Dapper saying politicians only, said Elon.
Look, how about this? Billionaires can get gallows. Politicians can get guillotines. And there you go. It was
Oh my
traditional
God.
and satisfying.
Leo is here. Hi, Leo. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And he said, as a Marxist, I will never understand this idea of killing the rich and powerful simply because they are rich and powerful. Just take away their money.
Here in America, we'll never take away the rich and powerful's money. No, no.
I think if you were to ask the rich and powerful and like force them onto the street, because I mean they should just be they're all really smart, right? That's how they got rich. So they should have
Yeah,
no problem being rich
well, right.
again.
Exactly.
Yeah, no worries.
By that logic, yeah.
Just have the roles reversed. Give us all your money, and then you can be poor for a whole year, and you can show us how you did it.
To actually respond to that question, though, it's not specifically that someone is rich. It's just that if you name someone who's that rich, there's an extremely high chance that I can show you something objectively shitty that they've done that should be punished and that has not been punished.
Oh,
So,
The mere
we can look
fact
at-
that they gathered that much wealth means that wealth is not going to the workers who produced all that wealth.
Right.
So,
I mean,
just on the face of that, that's them being immoral.
we can look at the top 3 wealthiest people in the country, or even in the world for that matter, and you could probably name off shitty things that they've done.
I would probably as a Canadian, I'm not like the death penalty is not like a thing. So I'm not really pro death penalty because I don't think it's effective. It doesn't seem to do anything. Like it's not helpful. But if your issue with what you're trying to deal with is not a penalty, like a punishment, and what you're trying to deal with is scaring the shit out of politicians into not being corrupt.
Maybe.
I see the argument.
Maybe it's like, you see this? Here's a watermelon. Watermelon equals your head.
Leo, if you
we-
want to link if you want to come and talk Marxism sometimes, we can absolutely do that. I'll hit you up on Twitter. We'll do that. Go on, yes.
Oh, the thought just like left my brain.
Oh, sorry. Do we want to talk about Marxism? Okay, side note. I gotta tell Dapper this. Dapper.
Yes. Yes.
Vic Mignogna is a young Earth creationist who thinks evolution is fake.
Oh Christ!
Of course.
What?
Jeez.
Man, the
Fell in a
downfall of
deep
this
hole
dude.
and then he fell into a deeper hole.
No, he was already there. He was
Yeah, I
that
know.
the whole time. So I went and looked into it, and he's an alumni to that Liberty University thing.
Mhm.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Liberty U, huh?
Yeah, and he said he went to BJU as well.
BJ.
Well,
Yes.
well, he said that he went to a high school associated with them.
Yeah, and then went to university at that Liberty one, whatever it's
Yeah.
called. Right? And so like it's such a dive into like the craziest fucking shit I have seen in a long time. And I was like, Dapper, do you want to debate Vic Mignogna? You should.
I mean, I kinda do.
It would be kind of funny, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could get him onto a platform that I'd also be willing to go on.
Get him on yours. I'd host it.
All right. If you want to host a debate about young Earth creationists between me and him, set it up and I'll be there.
I'll do it. I'll try.
Okay.
I'll put it my damnedest effort. By my damnedest effort, I mean I'm gonna tweet at him and then not bother to do anything else.
He actually responds, but Chesh is, wasn't on Twitter that day.
I
or
wasn't
ignored it.
looking.
Remember
Yeah.
that time Mark Pellegrino blocked me on Twitter? That was fun.
That was very silly. That was
Oh,
very
the
silly.
supernatural actor.
Yep,
Yeah,
he plays Lucifer or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic, Ayn Randian.
Yeah, he's an objectivist.
I mean, I didn't find him to be like too lunatic-y. Like at least when I talked to him, he seemed pretty cogent. If like whether or not I agree with him.
But that's kind of the objectivist shtick, is like, you have to seem all reasonable because everything we think is super reasonable, even when it's not.
Oh, fair enough. I guess maybe I'm just too dumb.
Yeah, because that's a big part of the self-image of objectivists, is that they're the only rational ones who really are out there. It's kind of like
Oh,
Scientologists who they're like,
the
we're the
invert-
only ones who can actually solve the problems of mental health. It's actually us. Objectivists are basically the same way, except it's like morality and economics instead of mental health.
Right.
Oh. I mean, I think that there's like a degree of like pragmatism that has to be like, as much as you can talk about like theoretically this and theoretically that, as much as we're like joking around about the guillotine, you eventually have to start talking about like what the practical effects are. So however, even if Steve wants to throw his stupid logic equation out there that makes no fucking sense, even if it did, it doesn't really matter if it's not practical. What's the practical effect? If the practical effect is bad, then who gives a shit? That's the same thing I said about William Lane Craig, right? I was like, okay, great. Let's pretend that your argument about like the Acadian genocide is sound, right? Like it's valid.
Mhm.
And we go, okay, great, but what does that mean when it's applied practically? Oh, absolute chaos? Well, then maybe if it doesn't have a practical application that is functional, then it fails on its face.
Well, what do you say? Like, I'm not interested in
Yeah.
the
He said he's not interested in the practical argumentation of it. It's all just it's all just theoretical logic.
If it's internally
philosophy.
consistent, it doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah, as if, right? As if that makes any fucking sense. It's so weird to see people like just try to take logic and philosophy and try to use that to suck like the real life emotion and dealing with people out of it, as if that isn't part like a massive part and function of philosophy. That makes no sense to me.
Like Voldemort's ideals are internally consistent. It doesn't make it good.
It's so weird. There's this one thing that this is a me thing, and you guys can correct me here if you agree or disagree. There's been kind of a pretty solid separation between philosophy and science, right? They've kind of gone separate ways when they should really probably be closer together. But I don't find philosophy focusing on too much besides like its own circle jerk. And what I think philosophy in our day and age should be focused on is education,
Right.
in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean,
What do you guys think?
Well, I'm just gonna say, philosophy of science is how it started. So
Right.
it was a philosophy.
I mean, look at all the conspiracy theories going out nowadays. Anti-vax, 5G, all that bullshit. People don't know how to know. People don't know how to, take in information, discern what's good, what's bad, and how to analyze it and come up with like a rational opinion about it. We are so fucked, nowadays with that. I've had to like, basically relearn how to learn because my school didn't teach me any of that crap.
Mhm.
You
I see Alex saying in the chat that the U.S. should ban Scientology since it's a scam masquerading as a religion.
I mean, you have an argument.
I don't think it should have religious exemptions.
It absolutely shouldn't have tax-free status, and it shouldn't be treated as a religion. But it's not the same thing as banning it. I don't know a good way to ban it that would fit within like a U.S. legal framework.
I mean, so no longer sanction it like we do currently.
I mean,
Sure.
it's very obvious that currently Scientology, at least the Church of Scientology, maybe not Squirrel's own Scientologists or whatever, but the Church of Scientology primarily exists to benefit and enrich David Miscavige, which means that it does not qualify. The facts on the grounds are that it violates the requirements to be counted as a religion for tax purposes, which means it shouldn't be one. It should have to pay taxes on its real estate, on its income, on its book sales, all that stuff. But that being said, I don't necessarily want it banned because the thing is, what does that mean? Does that mean
we know prohibition doesn't work?
Yeah, there's that. Plus, how do you really want a law that says people aren't allowed to get together and do the stuff listed out in like Dianetics or the other technical manuals or whatever that Ron Hubbard wrote? Like, how would you enforce that? What possible justification could you give for that in terms of like legal doctrine? I can't imagine how that would work.
Like at a certain point, it would just be banning the book at a certain level.
You're gonna ban Dianetics, like
Exactly.
Dianetics. We're gonna have a big book burning for Dianetics. I mean, granted, Dianetics is a worthless piece of crap book, but like, I don't want to ban it.
It does seem kind of useless in that regard. Yeah. There's not really much of a point. I mean, what I would do is usually the best way to get people to do something is through positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement. So what you do is you make it less profitable and make it difficult because people are lazy, right? Or make it more profitable to not, right?
Well, and a big part of the problem is that we need to find some way. If the U.S. is not willing to do to tax religious organizations, right? There needs to be a way to stop religious organizations from hoarding wealth in the form of real estate. Because
and participating in politics.
Sure, that too. Because one of the problems is that both the Church of Scientology and the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, are both trying to avoid their legal problems by just hiding their wealth in real estate. In the case of Scientology, it's by building all of these absurdly expensive ideal orgs paid for through the donations that are not donations that go towards courses from their various members, right? When you donate to like the Ideal Org project in your area, you're not getting credit for auditing hours. You're not getting any free courses out of that. You're not going to be able to take like, your next OT level on the basis of that. They'll give you a little award to pin on your shirt though.
Right.
And with the Jehovah's Witnesses, what they're doing is they're basically saying, oh, hey, we need a brand new Kingdom Hall. Hey, all of our, members, most of whom are tradespeople.
You need to spread the word of Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I think the televangelists need to get caught up in this, too.
With the Jehovah's Witnesses, it's not even spreading the word of Jesus. That's a separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
With the Kingdom Hall scam, what they're doing is they're saying, okay, look, our entire religion is almost entirely made up of tradespeople because we actively discourage our members from going to college. And we encourage them to go into trades, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with trades, but there's also nothing wrong with college, at least not per se. And so now that we have all these tradespeople, hey, why don't you guys make a brand new cool building and, do the wiring and the plumbing and everything for free? Your time and your labor all for free, buy the materials. And then, oh, no, we have to consolidate Kingdom Halls. We have too many. Oh, how about we sell this wonderful building that we built and use it to pay off the money that we owe daily for not disclosing our information about active child predators in the organization according to court order, which is literally what's happening with the Jehovah's Witnesses.
There's a really big problem with the American court system that just says, quote unquote, if you can pay for the crime, it's not really a crime. If you can pay the fine, it's not a crime. And so, like, that's a big issue where you get like...
a super chat, by the way.
Yeah. I got 2 of them actually set on the side here. We got bears don't make typos. That's probably true. And Vic, the orgy seeking young Earth creation. If I think about that too much, my brain might explode.
Hey,
That
man.
sounds like you want me to try to get this conversation to happen.
Maybe the Earth is 6,000 years old, and you can be horny at the same time.
Oh,
Maybe
They are-
that's just the thing.
They are both from my unfinished journey, so thank you very much. Greatly appreciated.
I have
yeah.
a question. I have to go real soon.
Yeah,
but I have a question I want to ask. Have any of y'all seen the English 3 Body Problem show?
Like the English language one from
No. There's the Chinese show, and then there's the English show.
3 language body problem?
No, the 3 Body Problem.
3
If by
body-
English you mean the English language one that I don't know if it was
Oh, on
actually made for-
Netflix.
Yeah, that one.
Yes,
I
I've
have
seen
not
that one.
seen it.
I just saw it, and I don't know if it's a writing oversight, but the Santi, they can't lie, right? What about the pacifist that contacted the Chinese scientist? Whatever happened to them?
I mean,
That-
presumably they died long before the fleet ever got there.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
Also, we never really find out the fates, as far as I know, at least in the book series, of like individual members of that species. We only really ever interact with them as a group.
Oh well. There's a slight. There might be a slight writing oversight with the show. I'm gonna read the books here soon.
I mean,
so.
the entire show is set from the perspective of various humans, and I don't see any reason why any of the humans would have access to the information of what happened to that one particular individual from decades ago.
The issue, the thing I'm pointing out is the Santi aliens cannot lie,
Okay.
and for the pacifist alien, to communicate with the Chinese scientists, they would necessarily have to lie. So
Well,
there's a bit of a problem.
You'd have to like be able to get access to the transcripts of what was actually said, because there's a lot of ways to lie without lying. No.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, if it depends on what we mean by lying, right? It seemed like the idea that the aliens had was that expressing ideas that were not literally true was foreign, but that's not the same thing as keeping a secret.
That's true.
Lying and keeping a secret aren't necessarily the same thing. Now, sometimes you do have to lie in order to keep a secret, but you can also keep a secret without lying, right? Like, if I just decide I'm not going to tell anyone what I had for breakfast today, then you guys just don't get to know. What are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, if someone
Yeah.
asks you a question and you don't speak, are you lying?
Yeah.
That
You're
too.
a liar.
You lie! You lie!
Your silence means everything.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I haven't seen the show, so I don't have too much.
Yeah, I don't know either.
they should watch the show. It's real interesting. Anyway, I gotta go. So nice seeing y'all. Nice seeing you for the first time, Egghead. I remember seeing you on the early days of DP.
Oh, yeah. And now look at me.
Full
I have a
beard.
Full beard
Getting
and
ready to
all.
move.
Mm.
That is a really nice.
With
looking
also
beard you got.
possibly, I don't know if anyone's noticing, but my hair is fucking thinning.
Is it?
Sorry.
How old are you?
30.
Yeah, I went completely bald by 24, so don't feel bad.
It's starting to like thin at the top and everything. It was like shit.
Yeah, I've been noticing you messing with it, but other than that, not too much.
Anyway, y'all have
You're
a good
just
night.
gonna look. He's gonna look so much like an egghead if he shaves.
Oh,
I
I don't
do
wanna
half of
fucking-
mine. Come on, you can do it.
I don't want to think of it. I don't want to think of it.
You're gonna look good.
It's a bald head with just the beard.
Yeah, and the aviators.
Oh, I was just gonna suggest take some of the beard hair, put it on your hair.
Grow
top of
your
head.
grow your beard hair long enough that you can loop it up back around on the top of your head.
That's good too.
Be
That's
like
good.
Full dwarf.
be a fucking member of ZZ Top. Just grow my fucking beard like that and just
Let's
do
go.
that
All right, we're gonna look at a wrap up. We've been live for like 2 hours at this point, and this
Yeah,
is
we're
about
getting
how
there.
these ones go. So, Dapper, what do you got coming up next?
Let's see. Let's take a look at my channel. What is coming up next? Tomorrow is Camp with Ben. Something I should probably make up a
Fuck
thumbnail for, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I should
Fuck
probably do a thumbnail.
yeah.
So
Beard
that's
comb over. Hell yeah.
that's tomorrow. Thursday I have what is the name of it? I've got Ad Hominid Arguments, which is the fourth part of my long form look at a talk given by Jennifer Hall Rivera at Answers in Genesis at their little auditorium thing. Then on Saturday, I am going to be doing more live stuff. I don't know exactly who my guests will be. Dr. Joel Duff was there last week, and he's been invited back, but I don't know if he was going to be able to make it. So yeah, and then then after that, there's another Kent with Ben on the next Tuesday, and then there's the supercut of my Creepy Carl Halloween special. That's going to be like a 4-hour video, and then there's going to be probably Matt with Maddie on that. Or well, it was another Dapper Reacts on Saturday. Then I'm Matt with Maddie on the Tuesday. I could keep going, but I won't. I'll stop now.
Cool.
I've got like the next month and a half planned out.
I do want to shout something out. But AK, what are you working on before I do that?
Like I said earlier parts, I am still in the process of moving. That's what I'm planning on doing soon. I am almost done with the getting stuff out of my closets. The most heavy stuff is completely gone out of my closet right now, so just playing the waiting game of just having to get everything shipped over to the new place. Unless Jared makes a new video within the next maybe day or so, I might take a small break from the Jared content because
Go watch Steve.
oh god, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but does anyone remember when I used to do like Oreo reviews?
Yeah.
So Nabisco Oreo came out with a new flavor, and I swear to Christ, it's possibly one of the most disgusting. It's giving me flashbacks to when they did Swedish Fish Oreos.
Oh my god!
Back
This
in the
is
day.
reminding me of the College Humor skit with Brendan Lee Mulligan when he's just like, "We made the perfect cookies. Stop."
But just today, and this dropped today, in I think at Walmart or where the hell it's being sold at. But Oreo Nabisco came out with Sour Patch Kids Oreos.
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. No, I'm afraid
Somebody
of that.
should endeavor in sending Jared Genesis every flavor of Oreo cookie.
Oh, Christ! I mean, his address is out there.
Speaking of somebody who's never moved.
Exactly.
So you're gonna you might do a review.
I might do a Sour Patch Kids Oreo review just to see how it tastes and see if it does well, because I haven't done an actual Oreo taste test in years.
A couple chat shoutouts I want to give. Mania, go check out her channel. Go check out I Cut Rocks if you want to go see some cool rock stuff and some like little bits of geology information. And go check out EMP Network. He does some body language stuff. It's very, very cool. I definitely recommend checking it out. One thing that I do want to shout out is there's a charity event coming up in June that is called Roll for Initiative, and that's happening on Forrest's channel, which I linked, and Jesse Jurdak is going to be the DM for it. And there's like all kinds of rad people that are part of it, so definitely go and check that out. If you're interested in the charity, for sure, check it out regardless. I linked it in the chat. I'll link it again here so you guys have it. It'll show on the screen above. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll be live at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning on Twitch if you're interested in commentary and art stuff. And then tomorrow, we've got Oppie coming on with Landon for the microbrew. We're going to talk about scientism and like, what is that? Is that a real thing? Is it just a slur? Is it like, what is this? Yes, it is that Forest. Correct.
You're going up in the morning. You got to get to bed then.
Hell yeah. That's why these are 2 hours long and not 4 hours long, because I'm not an insane person.
Exactly.
I'm an insane goblin. Sorry,
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
doing anything in particular?
You
Well, I do have something in the works with another Twitch channel that isn't mine.
Nice.
But we don't have anything definitive yet. It's gonna be D&D stuff. But
Hype.
I'll announce stuff in the Discord when I get something more definitive.
Hell yeah, join up in the Discord if you want to know about all kinds of stuff. I might be starting my Patreon up again soon, so if you're interested in that or becoming a member or any of that stuff, thank you very much to Unfinished Journey and Messenger for the financial support, as well as the liking, sharing, retweeting, subscribing, and participating both in chat and in things. And if you're a lurker, we love you too. Don't feel like you're left out. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with another one of these the first Monday of next month. We also have a tavern coming up in a couple weeks, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell because there's so much shit that happens on this channel. If you want to vote on the next members video to go public, go vote on the community tab. Okay,
Subscribe
bye.
or we're gonna give you double pink eye.
Double pink eye. Fuck you. Bye.
Bye.